The scream cut through the elegant silence of the Crystal Bay restaurant like a blade, sharp enough to freeze the entire room mid-breath. Plates stopped clattering, conversations died instantly, and every eye turned toward a horrifying sight: the billionaire's wife, Eleanor Halston, in her pristine white dress, lifting a steaming jug of hot oil and pouring it over the arm of a stunned black waitress named Mia Jordan. The golden liquid splashed across Mia's skin, and pain tore through her body so violently that her knees buckled. For a moment, no one moved. No one breathed. It felt as if the chandeliers themselves trembled at the cruelty of the scene. What no one in that luxurious room knew, what Eleanor herself had no idea about, was that the woman she had just attacked was not just a waitress. She was an undercover FBI agent investigating her husband for one of the largest financial crimes in the country. If you believe in kindness, justice, and second chances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Thread. Your support helps us bring more meaningful stories like this to life. Mia's mind spun in those initial seconds as her burning skin throbbed. She had faced criminals, embezzlers, and dangerous manipulators in her line of work, but nothing could have prepared her for the humiliation and pain of this moment. She had agreed to go undercover as a waitress for one reason: to collect the final evidence needed to bring down Richard Halston, the billionaire known for his charm in public and his corruption behind closed doors. His financial web was responsible for wiping out the savings of thousands of innocent families, and Mia had promised herself she would not rest until she brought him to justice. But undercover work came with risks she had accepted. What she had not accepted, not even in her worst calculations, was that she would be singled out, attacked, and degraded simply because someone like Eleanor believed she had the right to treat her as less than human. As the burning settled into a throbbing sting, Mia forced herself to stand straight. She refused to let Eleanor see her collapse. The gasps around the restaurant grew louder. Several guests covered their mouths in shock, unable to believe what they had just witnessed. Eleanor, still furious, still trembling with entitlement, sneered as she slammed the empty jug onto the nearest table. She had accused Mia of ruining her lunch, of bringing the wrong wine, of not bowing low enough when placing the napkin, each complaint more ridiculous than the last. But beneath the surface, Mia knew exactly what this moment represented. Eleanor's life was built on privilege and cruelty, the kind that felt threatened when confronted by strength disguised as simplicity. Mia had challenged her without even trying, and the rich woman had snapped. Yet, Mia wasn't just fighting for herself. She was fighting for the million-dollar case she had worked on for nearly a year. Her supervisor had warned her that the Halstons were unpredictable, but she had insisted on going undercover anyway. She believed justice required getting closer than anyone else dared. Now, as she clutched her burned arm, she had to decide whether to break her cover or push through. The restaurant manager rushed toward her, his face pale, panicked, and unsure whether to defend his billionaire patrons or protect his employee. Guests began to rise from their chairs, arguing among themselves about calling the police. Eleanor folded her arms with a twisted smile as if she had done something righteous. And Richard Halston, sitting just 3 tables away, watched with a cold stare that held neither concern nor guilt. That stare told Mia everything she needed to know about him. His empire was built on indifference, on stepping over those he considered insignificant. And today, she was supposed to be one of those people. But Mia refused to be invisible. Instead of collapsing or running away, she steadied herself. She walked to the back room shakily, every step a battle between physical pain and emotional strength. The other waitstaff crowded around her, terrified for her, angry on her behalf, whispering that she should sue or quit immediately. But Mia remained calm. Her mind, despite the pain, kept working. She had just witnessed, firsthand, the arrogance and cruelty of the Halston household, and it made her mission even clearer. She cleaned her arm under cool water, biting her lip as the sting returned in waves. And when she looked up into the small mirror above the sink, she didn't see a hurt waitress. She saw an agent, one who had come too far to stop now. Minutes later, Mia walked back out into the restaurant, ignoring every shocked face staring at her. Eleanor looked outraged that she had returned instead of fleeing. Richard's expression tightened, calculating. Mia picked up a tray from the counter, pretending to continue her shift. But beneath that act, she allowed her hidden microphone, already activated, to record every word, every threat, every incriminating comment from the Halstons. She knew that when people like them felt invincible, they tended to reveal themselves more openly. And she was right. Richard's phone buzzed with a message, and he leaned toward his wife, whispering about a transfer being completed, and the plan to move everything offshore by midnight. Eleanor, still fuming, complained loudly about these workers ruining society, and how she should have fired the entire staff if she could. Her voice dripping with disgust was all caught on Mia's recording device. The moment Mia had been waiting for was finally unfolding. Hours later, as Mia headed to the break room after a shift, she felt her strength fading. She needed medical help, and she needed to deliver the evidence. Before she could leave, the door burst open. Eleanor stormed in, furious that Mia hadn't been fired immediately. She cornered her, spewing more hatred, but this time Mia didn't flinch. She looked directly into Eleanor's eyes with a steadiness that made the billionaire's wife hesitate. Then, in a calm but firm voice, Mia revealed her badge. The air left Eleanor's lungs. Richard entered behind her, and when he saw the badge, color drained from his face. Panic flickered. His empire of lies had finally cracked open. Within minutes, the FBI, already positioned outside, entered the restaurant and placed Richard Halston under arrest. Eleanor, still shaking, was escorted out for assault. Guests watched, stunned, as the powerful couple they had once admired were taken away in handcuffs. Mia, exhausted but relieved, sat on a chair near the entrance. Sunlight streamed through the windows, warm and healing, as if the world itself acknowledged her courage. She had fought injustice not just with bravery, but with heart. And she had won. As the paramedics treated her burns, the restaurant staff gathered around her, thanking her, supporting her, telling her she had changed everything, not only for the people hurt by Richard Halston but for every person who ever thought they were too small to stand against cruelty. If this story touched your heart, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps us spread more powerful stories.
Digo, ¿qué más me gustaría a mí que ser campeón del mundo? Y otro que 181, Boca 0, la U. Heavy, 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 como viene Boca, ¿no?